In the world that you and I live in today, the game is the same, but the rules have changed. And a lot of people find themselves being frustrated because they keep trying stuff that they think will work and it's not working for them. And they are wondering, is it that the village people are after me? So you need to understand that whether it's in the world of finances or in the world of relationship or in different aspects of life, the world that we live in is a constantly changing world. And you need to continue to learn, unlearn, and relearn if you're going to remain relevant in our world today. So it's very, very important for you as an individual to know that in this world of money, the game is the same, but the rules have changed. And there are 8 new rules of money that I want to talk to us about within the brevity of time that is available to me. Number 1, knowledge is the new money. Knowledge is the new money. In the world that you and I live in today, those who know rule over those who do not know. If you are not informed, you will be deformed. If you are not inspired, you will expire. If you are not updated, you will become outdated. Those who know rule over those who do not know. What you know determines how far you go, because information is the key to transformation. When you sit down in a meeting like this, listening to all the speakers as they were bringing forth information, as they were sharing different things with you, thoughts and ideas were flowing. All you need to do is to know what you did not know before now, get out of this place and do what you need to do with what you know so that you can go to where you have never been to before. So it's very, very important for you as an individual to realize and recognize that knowledge is the new money. In this world today, it's all about knowledge. I remember when I started out in the journey of wealth creation in 1998. I started going to the UK in 1997, and every time I go into the UK, I started doing business in the UK. I was a major supplier of books and videos and all stuff to different stores in Peckham, all over the UK. If you know anybody in the UK between 1998 and 2003 that were into anything that selling of home videos, selling of books, Christian materials, when you ask for Olumide, I was the major supplier. But guess what? Every time I'm traveling to the UK, I will travel with 10 bags, 15 bags. And when I get there, I will spend 2-3 hours with custom, settling different things. But within those 5 years, I was also upgrading myself in the part of information. And then many years later, I will never forget, I think it was 2002 or 2003, I went to the UK to speak. I'd been invited to come and do a training for an organization. They paid for my business class ticket, they paid for my hotel, and I charged them £10,000 and they paid in advance. So I was going into the UK, they paid £10,000 into my account for a 2-day weekend training. It was a Friday and Saturday, and I came in on a Thursday. And when I was coming into the UK, I had just my jacket bag with me. And when I got to the airport, you have one door that says something to declare, and you have the other door that says nothing to declare. And in those days, when I used to do that business, I used to pass through something to declare. Because even though the books were not taxable, the CDs were taxable, I had to do all that. So this particular day, I was going to nothing to declare. And as I was going, it just dropped. And it was like, okay, why are you passing through nothing to declare? And I'm like, oh, I don't have bags. He said, but you are coming to declare something. I said, yes. And it just dawned on me. He said, do you know that they have paid you £10,000 already and you have not yet said anything? He said, now what is the difference between the time you used to carry Ghana Must Go and go from one train station to the other? He said, what's the difference between then and now? He said, the difference is knowledge. He said, now you are not selling goods and services, you are selling information. You see, and now you don't need to carry big bag, you don't need to carry anything. You are coming in now, but you are making more money with information than when you were carrying bags. And I thought, wow. So knowledge is the new money. So it's very, very important for you to realize that every time you see an opportunity to learn, please do everything you can to go and learn, because the money of today is no more what you think money was. If you read the School of Money book, you will see how that we have transcended. It used to be the agrarian age, then became the industrial age, and the rich people of today, they are not the people that have factories and industries. No. The rich people of today are those that are selling information and ideas. The top companies in the world today, from Google to Amazon, what are they selling? So it's all about knowledge. Number 2, you must learn how to use debt. You must learn how to use that. The second new rule is you must learn how to use that. You see, when a poor man, Ali Baba was just amazing. Wow, 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 wow. When a poor man hears debt or will, or they just shut down, debt, and the richest man in Africa today is Dangote, and he's a debtor. Dangote is owing banks millions of dollars, yet he's the richest man. Ow! Is because there are different kinds of debt. There is good debt, there is bad debt, and there is no debt. Now, good debt is a leverage, bad debt is a bondage. But you see, the problem with the poor is that they embrace bad debt. And because they have embraced that bad debt and they have been bound by bad debt, because the borrower is always a servant to the lender in bad debt, they now turn around to say, I don't want to owe anybody, owe no one nothing. But they don't realize that good debt is a leverage. Using other people's money helps you to move faster instead of waiting for your own money. And that's why you find out that the rich and wealthy people, they still have bank loans. Why? Because they have realized, instead of using my hard-earned cash, why not leverage on the money of people that don't have knowledge? Because they don't have knowledge, they put their money in the bank thinking it's security. So since they don't have knowledge of what to do with their money, let me help them spend their money to make more money for myself. Hello? Let me tell you the easiest one, the lowest hanging fruit. Do you know that many of you have worked in companies before where you have opportunity to collect staff loan, interest-free, you never collected? Why? You were afraid. But guess what? If you had collected the staff loan, they would have been deducting the money from your salary. That is advanced savings. You did not collect the loan. Even you collected salary, you still could not save. The loan will have helped you to save by fire, by force. You could have collected the staff loan. You could have bought Uber Corolla, and that one will be working for you, and you will still be collecting your salary. You could have collected the staff loan and opened a barbering salon or opened a hairdressing salon, and that will be working for you. Why? Boy, I don't want to hire anybody. Now you have left a company that was giving you free loan. You are now in a company where there is no staff loan, there is nothing. To get 30,000, you now discover how difficult it is to see somebody to borrow you money. So the new rule of money is what? Learn how to use what? Debt. So when you have an opportunity to access funds and you know what to do with the funds, if you are accessing funds at 5%, 9%, 11%, 15%, and you know what to do with the funds that can give you 20, 25, 30, 40%, what do? You take the fund, you invest it, the return from your investment will pay for the fund, and then you move on. Turn to your number, say, I'm learning. Number 3. You must learn how to control and manage your cash flow. You must learn how to control and manage your cash flow. Cash flow is the lifeblood of any individual and the lifeblood of businesses. So you must learn how to control cash flow. Now listen and listen well. Even a profitable business can go bankrupt when there is no cash flow. And I see a lot of people, they make money, but because they don't know how to manage the money, they are not able to multiply the money, and they end up in debt. Listen and listen well. It is not how much you make that matters. It is what you do with what you make that matters. And if you don't know how to manage your cash flow, you will not know how to balance between your income and your expenditure. And once your expenditure is greater than your income, your upkeep will become your downfall. So you need to sit down and know how to manage cash flow. And in cash flow management, it begins with number 1, proper documentation. You must be able to document and track down every income and every expenditure in your life. When you are able to sit down to document every income and expenditure, you will know where your income comes from. And you'll be able to make intentional and strategic decisions about increasing your income. When you have a documentation of your expenditure, you will know what are the dead weights that are taking your expenditure. Debola was talking about settling down for things that does not profit you, just because you are falling in love with an idea that is not producing money. Instead of you moving forward, you are so much in love with an idea that you should shut down. I will leave he said that I shut it down. Listen to me. I'm standing before you right now. In the course of my lifetime, I have done about 14 different businesses. About 11 of them has failed. That has gone bankrupt completely. But let me tell you something. If you have one master breakthrough, it will cover for everything else. So it's very, very important to know that everybody you are looking at today, if they start telling you their story, they will tell you of things they have shut down, things that didn't work. So you must understand how to manage your cash flow. And it begins with that documentation. I can show you one of the organizations we started 26 years ago that is now a global organization. I can show you December 1995. I can show you the book of the income from 1995 to date. I can show you the book of expenditure to date. In my personal life, since 1997, Timothy is here, they have seen the book. Since 1997, I've showed them. Since 1997, every income that has entered my life, I can show you. All the books are in my house. Every expenditure since 1997, I can show you. And that is why I always have a better year. You know why? I sit down and I say, okay, this year now, okay, you mean all this labor. Now only this one I produce. I be like, say this is a waste of time. Oh, this one are welfare, this one are charity. Okay, you mean this much? Okay, Pareto, 80-20. So if this is what is bringing more money, next year, let me focus on this one. By the next year, I focus more on what is bringing money and I spend less time on what is not producing money. Then I come to the expenditure column and I say, you mean this thing is costing me this much? Devourer, lele you. This one is a devourer. I can't do this anymore. Because many times when people are thinking of getting rich and getting wealthy, they're always thinking of having more income or increasing their income. Reducing your expenditure will make you more wealthy without any extra income. Just reducing your expenditure. Because for many people, the problem is too much expenditure. They enter into what we call the Parkinson's disease. You know, the Parkinson's law says that expenditure will always rise up to meet with income. And that's the problem for many people. So what is number one? What is number two? What is number three? What is number four? If you prepare for bad times, you will always have good times. If you prepare for bad times, you will always have good times. For many years, we have said it over and over again. You must have a minimum of 6 to 8 months of your living expenses saved up in cash, so that if you lose your job or you get into a crisis, at least there will be something to keep you for 6 months before you suffer. Then COVID came, and all those that did not listen, when COVID came, they suddenly got a revelation. Because if you refuse to learn by revelation, you will learn by experience. If you refuse to learn through the information of others or through the experience of others, you will have to learn from your own experience. So COVID came and people realized that those who thought they were rich, they were not rich. Those who thought they were sorted out, they were not sorted out. Those who thought they were secure, they were not secure. Why? Because they didn't prepare for bad time. Listen, there's something called wealth cycle. Wealth cycle. You see, wealth cycle is one of the things that has been established. If you look back, you will realize that the world moves in cycle of wealth and poverty. Wealth and poverty. So there is always 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine, 7 years of plenty, and that's the way it is. So you will not always have everything working every time. But if you do the right things in the days of plenty, you save, you invest. When the days of famine come, you will not be a part of the famine, because what you have saved in the years of plenty will take care of you in the years of famine. That's the way it works. So it's wealth cycle. And many people don't realize that wealth cycle is not negative, it's actually positive. You see, in agriculture, there's what we call bush fallowing. Bush fallowing is a process where if you have planted on a particular land for so long, you leave it for between 3 to 4 years. You leave it fallow so that it can gather fresh nutrients. So that when you now start planting on it again, it will begin to produce more harvest. So that's the same way. Nobody reigns forever except the Creator. So when the season of crisis and the season of trouble comes, crisis creates opportunities. So every time we get into famine period, it's not really a famine period, it's a rearrangement period. It's so that a new realm, a new crop, a new generation of millionaires and billionaires will take the baton from those that have been doing it and emerge. But because people do not know, when problems come, they allow the external problem to become their internal problem. And when problem becomes internalized, you can't move forward, you become demobilized. So what you don't realize that problem is actually an opportunity for you to create wealth. So it's very, very important for you to know, if you prepare for bad times, what happens, you will always have good time. So you may look back now and say, oh, COVID has gone. Oh, thank God, things are getting better. Listen to me, there will be another time when there will be another issue. Number 5. There is the need for speed and automation. There is the need for speed. There is the need for speed. Whatever you are doing now, if you are not thinking of automating what you are doing, you have expired already. There is the need for speed. So whatever you are doing now, you cannot be analog in a digital age. Whatever you are doing, no matter what the business is, start thinking, how can I automate this thing? How can I bring it to a level where it will be faster than it used to be? Because let me tell you something. Even in the midst of COVID, even in the midst of lockdown, there are people that continue to make money because before the crisis, they have automated their business. So wherever they were able to continue to do business because their business have been automated. When you don't understand the importance of speed, you're going to get into trouble. If you know the banking, the process of banking in Nigeria, you realize that there was a time when if you had to go to bank, you have to go and queue. You have to take tally number. You go in the morning, collect the number, go to work, and then go in the afternoon. It has not reached your number yet. Now, then a group of young people came up and they started modern day banking. But today, you don't even need to go to any bank. You don't even need to physically go anywhere. So you can actually, we now have fintech all over. And you can sit down and on your palm with your mobile phone, you can transact business globally. It's now faster and cheaper and more profitable. So anything you are doing, one of the new rules of money is what? You must make everything faster. Automate it. So whatever you are doing, think of how you can automate it. Think of how you can bring it to a level where it will move faster than you doing it manually.